The day my parents told everyone I was unstable. I realized blood doesn't mean loyalty. They didn't scream it. They didn't announce it dramatically. They whispered it. Quietly. Strategically. Carefully. She's been going through something. She exaggerates. Don't take what she says too seriously. And just like that, my credibility disappeared. The worst part? They did it to protect my brother. My name is Nora Whitfield. I'm 28 years old. And the night my brother crashed his car drunk and blamed me for distracting him with a family argument, my parents chose him. Not the truth. Him. He told the police we had fought. That I had been hysterical. That I had called him nonstop. That he was stressed because of me. None of it was real. But my parents backed his version instantly. He's under pressure. Nora has always been dramatic. She doesn't handle conflict well. I stood there listening to my own personality being rewritten like fiction. For years, I had been the responsible one. The planner. The fixer. The quiet achiever. But the moment his future was at risk, his job, his reputation, his clean image, they sacrificed mine without hesitation. It didn't happen overnight. First, relatives stopped calling me for advice. Then, family friends looked at me differently. Then, even mutual acquaintances began treating me like I was fragile. Unreliable. Unstable. All because my parents needed a narrative that kept their golden sun shining. They thought I would argue. They thought I would explode and prove them right. Instead, I went silent. Because lies are loud. But truth? Truth waits. And I was about to let it speak for itself. The moment I realized they were building a case against me, I started building one of my own. Not out of revenge. Out of survival. If they wanted a story, I would give them facts. I stopped arguing at family gatherings. Stopped defending myself when subtle comments floated across dinner tables. Are you feeling okay these days? You've always been emotional. I just nodded. Smiled. Observed. Meanwhile, I gathered everything. Phone records proving I never called my brother that night. Security footage from the restaurant showing him drinking long before he left. Text messages where he bragged about driving just fine. Even a voicemail he sent a friend laughing about how mom and dad would handle it. They thought I was too fragile to fight back. They forgot I was patient. Months passed. The lie settled comfortably into everyone's mind. I became the unstable sister. He became the stressed son who made a mistake. But lies rot from the inside. And then came the opportunity. A family engagement party. Dozens of relatives. Old friends. Even some of my brother's colleagues. The same people who had slowly distanced themselves from me. My parents smiled nervously when they saw me walk in. They had grown used to my silence. But silence isn't surrender. When my brother stood to give a speech about family support, I stood too. Calm. Steady. I'd like to share something, I said. The room went still. No yelling. No accusations. Just evidence. Phone logs displayed. Timestamps. Video clips. His own voice from that voicemail echoing through the speaker. You could feel the air shift. Because truth doesn't need volume. It just needs exposure. And for the first time since that night, the lie started collapsing. The moment his own voice filled the room, my brother stopped breathing. Not literally. But the confidence drained from his face so fast it was almost violent. The voicemail echoed again in everyone's ears, him laughing, saying, "Relax. Mom and Dad will clean it up like always." No one moved. No one defended him. For the first time, there was no narrative to hide behind. My mother's face turned pale. My father looked like someone had ripped the script out of his hands mid-performance. They had protected him for years, smoothed over fights, rewrote stories, shielded his reputation. But this wasn't something they could quietly explain away. My brother tried. She twisted it, he snapped. She's manipulating context. But context doesn't change timestamps. It doesn't erase footage. It doesn't rewrite call logs. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I stayed silent because I trusted you to tell the truth, I said, looking directly at my parents. You chose convenience instead. That hurt them more than the evidence ever could. Relatives started whispering, but this time, not about me. His colleagues avoided eye contact. The engagement party felt less like a celebration and more like a courtroom without a judge. And then something unexpected happened. I didn't ask for apologies. I didn't demand humiliation. I simply gathered my phone, stepped back, and said, I just wanted my name back. That was the real shift. Because when you fight to destroy someone, you look desperate. But when you calmly reclaim your dignity, you look powerful. That night, I walked out again, not as the unstable sister, but as the only honest person in the room. And this time, they couldn't rewrite the story. The apology didn't come the next day. It came when the consequences did. Within a week, my brother's workplace had heard the recording. One of his colleagues had been at the engagement party. Rumors spread faster than my parents ever spread lies about me. Only this time, the story was real. He was placed under internal review. His promotion under consideration suddenly vanished. Invitations slowed. Calls stopped. And suddenly, my phone started ringing again. Not from relatives. From my parents. We need to talk, my father said, his voice heavier than I had ever heard it. Interesting choice of words. Not we owe you an apology. Not we were wrong. We need. When I agreed to meet them, I chose a cafe. Neutral ground. No family walls to trap me in old roles. My mother looked smaller somehow. My father didn't meet my eyes. You embarrassed your brother, my mother said quietly. I let that sit between us. No, I replied calmly. I corrected you. That silence hit harder than shouting ever could. For years, they had treated truth like something flexible. Something that could be shaped to protect the son they believed needed saving. But what they never understood was this: every lie they told about me cost me relationships, opportunities, credibility. You could have handled it privately, my father muttered. You could have told the truth privately, I answered. There it was. The shift. They weren't upset that I exposed him. They were upset that I stopped absorbing the damage. And for the first time in my life, I wasn't negotiating for love. I was setting terms for respect. Because protecting someone else should never require sacrificing yourself. And I was done being the sacrifice. The day my brother finally called me, he didn't sound angry. He sounded scared. Not of losing me. Of losing everything. His voice wasn't confident anymore. It wasn't entitled. It was thin. Careful. Like someone walking across ice that might crack. I messed up, he said quietly. I need your help. There it was. The same sister he let them call unstable. The same sister he watched get isolated. The same sister whose name he handed over to protect his own. Now suddenly, I was capable again. Reliable again. Useful again. I didn't respond immediately. Silence is powerful when you're no longer afraid of it. You didn't just lie, I said finally. You let them erase me. He exhaled sharply. No defense this time. No clever spin. Just reality settling in. My parents had finally admitted the truth publicly after the engagement disaster. It was messy. It was humiliating. But it was necessary. And now he wanted guidance. Advice. Damage control. For a moment, the old version of me almost stepped forward, the fixer. The peacemaker. The one who cleaned up everyone else's consequences. But growth isn't loud. It's restraint. I hope you figure it out, I said calmly. Not cruel. Not cold. Just firm. Because helping someone who never protected you teaches them nothing. That day, I didn't get revenge. I got something better. My name back. My credibility back. My peace back. They lied about me to protect him. But in the end, I didn't need to fight them. I just let the truth do the talking. And truth? It always speaks louder than loyalty built on lies. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more thrilling tales. Share your thoughts in the comments below, we love hearing from you.